everyone, and welcome to Enlightened World Network. This is on Angel Wings, and I am so thrilled that this is going to be the first show where I will have a co-host, and that is Christina Leftwich. Hi, Christina.
Hey.
And welcome to everyone. Welcome all that are on Zoom with us. There may be some more that pop on because the room's open. Anybody that wants to come in and be here with us on Zoom, if it's your first time, we do a teaching for the first part of this on an archangel or an angel. And then we go offline where we're not streaming live and we have a discussion about angels or anything spiritual. First, I'd like to just share with you who the angels are going to be that are upcoming over the next few weeks, because I want y'all to get excited about this like Christina and I got when we were hearing the message of who to present. So let me find my document and I'll just share with you. Tonight, we are talking about Archangel Zadkiel and St. Germaine. So Archangel Zadkiel is the archangel of the seventh ray, and St. Germaine is the ascended master that works in that seventh ray and will be doing some violet flame invocation and information about that. Next week, we are going to present Archangel Raphael, and Raphael is of the fifth ray, and the ascended master is Master Hilarion. The week after that, on the 21st of December, Christmas week, we are doing Archangel Cassiel. And some of you may not be too familiar with her, so or her or him, ever how you see Cassiel. But we'll work with Cassiel's energy. And on the 28th of December, we'll work with Archangel Gabriel of the fourth ray, and Paul the Venetian is the ascended master. And starting out the year will be Archangel Shamuel on the 4th of January with the Ascended Master Seraphis Bey. So that's what we have lined up. And we're hoping that you all are as excited as we are about this lineup. Yes, we did Uriel. That was the first of the series that we did, was Archangel Uriel. And you can go back and find that on YouTube. Also, Ruth and I have been working on the schedule for Enlightened World over the holidays. And I believe it's December 23rd. There will be a replay of this show where we talked about Archangel Uriel. But I'll get you all that information. It'll be well publicized. So you can catch any of the ones that you missed. You can catch them on the replay. So as I said, we are working with Archangel Zadkiel's energy tonight. What I'd like to do, as I do at the beginning of every one of these, is to call in all of their angels, anyone who wants to be present with us for the show to inspire and bring forward the energy. Let's just take a moment and do that at the very beginning. So just take a deep breath in. Let go of anything that was on your mind before you came into the room. Any of your to-dos or your honeydews, just let all of that go and bring yourself present in the room with your breath. Focus on that in-breath and relax it out, releasing any tension, releasing anything that's going on with you in any way. And continue by taking those breaths in slowly and out slowly. And I'm going to ask first for Archangel Raphael to surround us with beautiful healing energy. Archangel Michael to protect us as we do this work of understanding more clearly about our beautiful archangels. Archangel Gabriel to be present with us, open us up to understanding, and to be able to sense, feel, hear, and see the angel presence that we will be talking about tonight. and Archangel Uriel, we ask you to ground and balance myself and Christina as we present these energies, and everyone who's going to be hearing these words, whether they're on the Zoom meeting or listening in the audience or listening on the replay. And thank you, angels, for being here. Thank you for inspiring this offering so that those that want to get closer to the angels can do so through knowledge, through feeling the energy, and through meditation. And so it is. I think what I would like to do is have Christina share some of the information about Archangel Zadkiel.
All righty. Well, thanks everyone for joining. I appreciate it. I'm so glad you're here. Now, Archangel Zadkiel has been definitely present in my life. He is known by many titles, the angel of mercy, benevolence, and forgiveness, and also of freedom, meaning in your own personal soul freedom. He's known as the guardian.
Oh, shit.
Is Christina frozen or am I frozen?
It's Christina. She is. Ooh.
Thank you. Okay, let's
It's Christina.
see if we can call her back in. We know how to do this. We have the
There you
power.
go.
Come back, Christina.
Christina.
We love you.
She might have to go out and come back in again.
Yeah, let me send her a quick message.
Yeah, no, she's gone.
Okay, so she should be right back. Christina has done a lot of research, and that's why I wanted her to share what she has learned with all of us. And hello to Holly, who just came in. So I love Archangel Zadkiel. I love the energy. I've worked with Zadkiel many times. Zadkiel has helped me through a lot of transitions. He is an angel that when you connect, I say he, it could be he or she, whatever appears to you. When you really want to connect and go deeper into who you are and the things that you are experiencing in your struggles, your challenges, your life lessons, he's one that will hold your hand while you do that. And when I went through some real heavy things in my life, he was always there, always holding my hand, always with me. When I had near-death experiences, he was an angel that appeared first to me and just helped me to understand that I had choice. I had free will. I didn't have to let that be an exit point, but it was an option if I wanted it. He's very kind and merciful and understanding. And if you've never worked with Zadkiel, you're really going to want to get into his energy because it is that compassion that we so desire in life. We all want that compassionate energy surrounding us when we're going through anything. So let me just see if she's even got internet to talk back to us. And I will talk a little bit about St. Germaine while we're waiting for her to come back. How many of you have worked with St. Germaine's energy in the violet flame? Good. Good. I love working with the violet flame, and I know that Leo has, even though we don't see him on screen. I know that that's something that he's familiar with also. There are more of the sacred flames than just the violet flame, but I think that is the one that's most well known because we call on that violet flame to transmute energy into positive. Whatever it is, that's of low vibration that we're working with, calling on that violet flame will actually transmute instantly whatever it is, because it's a flame, it's fire. But the interesting part about that violet flame, it's not hot. So like when the angels come in and their energy is so high vibrating and you start to sweat and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so hot here. When you work with Saint Germaine, the energy is not hot, it's a cool energy, because all of what Saint Germaine is doing with the transmuting is being burned up with whatever that energy is, it's being transmuted. So your energy is not feeling what he's disconnecting you from. It's feeling what's the relief of that is. So that's how I like to envision it. It's like, as he's doing the work, he's taking care of whatever that problem is, then you are just getting the relief. It's like a breath of fresh air. Saint Germaine is an ascended master. And if you're not familiar with ascended masters, these are beings that have lived in human existence, some of them many times, until they've reached that point of such enlightenment that they don't come back in an incarnation anymore. Saint Germaine has had many incarnations, and then finally he is guiding us through this ray, through the violet ray or purple ray, or what you want to call that color. And the energy of it is all about transmutation and changing the energy. There are decrees that you can use for the violet flame. And when I do the meditation, I'll lead us into one of those decrees. We won't do the whole decree because it's pages and pages long, but we will use part of that decree in the meditation that we do to call in the energy of Zadkiel and St. Germaine. And she's back.
She'd come back.
I know, I texted her, I said, come back.
I was trying so hard. My son's just like, Mom, you just have to give it 1 minute and it'll come back on, I promise. It's 1 minute, felt like an hour.
I know.
So where'd you leave off for me? Because I know you have my back.
I did have your back. So we are talking about St. Germaine while we were waiting for you to come back
good.
and fill us in on Zadkiel. So what I was saying is, when we go into the meditation part, I will lead us into some of the decree for St. Germaine and the violet flame. And that'll invoke that energy of Zadkiel as well, because that's the ray that will be in to do that. So I want to turn it back over to Christina.
Okay,
It's all
so
for the intention that Christina's internet is going to remain stable.
It will, it better. So I'll just go, just piggyback a little bit on that. Now I'm talking about, he is part of the 7th ray, which is the violet ray. His day of the week is Saturday. I know we've discussed that before with some of our previous angels, and all that means is sometimes if you choose the day of the week, it's thought that your connection is just a little bit clearer on those days than on other days. So if you just want to make us, all precautions to try to talk to Zadkiel, Saturday might be your day to do that. His color that's associated with him is a deep indigo blue, and it's just gorgeous. But oftentimes people will also associate with that purple color of the violet flame. He is often depicted with having flashes of purple going through wings, and with it sometimes even mixed with some white and some sparks of gold is oftentimes seen with him. His gem crystal, if you'd like to work with it, is lapis lazuli. It's a beautiful blue stone. Also amethyst, purple fluorite, and aurora quartz. His planet is Jupiter. So you can imagine his presence is as big as Jupiter's. His sense of tolerance. This is a angel that will also help you with equality in your life. He will help you develop a tolerance for people that might not think the same way that you do. He's known as the guardian and alchemist of the violet flame, along with his twin flame. Now, my understanding of the twin flame is that Zadkiel is the more masculine, whereas his twin flame, holy amethyst, takes on a much more feminine aspect. And together, they wield the power of that purple flame, of the violet flame. So it gets you from all aspects is really what that means. You're covered, whether there's a masculine field to something or a feminine energy that's needed. They provide both and work together as one, actually. Zadkiel brings freedom to the soul. And the way he does this is through mercy and forgiveness. So really, when you think about it, mercy is through forgiveness. So the two are so tightly wound. It's not surprising to see that angel would be so tightly wound with both mercy and forgiveness, because really, when you are providing forgiveness, you are giving that mercy as well. He also is known as the angel of memory, as well as other cognitive issues, but this makes him fabulous for students. If you're trying to recollect data and facts and figures for a test, he's the angel to call. He will help you with your focus. He will help you to remember things. And this can also lead in, let's say you're trying to do some work and you know that you have some old belief patterns in your life. He is able to come in and lead you back with memory to maybe an incident that you had overlooked or forgotten about. He can help you realize that again so that you can transmute that energy. Another fascinating thing about the big Z, I call him the big Z. He's my guy. He's the big Z. And he, just thinking about him, that's all it takes is for you to just think of Archangel Zadkiel, and he automatically starts transmuting that negative energy. You don't have to do anything else but just read his name, think his name, and that work has already started, because he is like a master Jedi of transmuting energy. He'll come swooping in with double lightsabers and just take care of that stuff like ninja. Okay, that is what he does. He is a true master. So some people experience his energy as a wave. Other people, or other times, you might experience him as seriously like a lightning bolt or laser or sparks. He just can wield that power to transmute energy any way he needs to. He's just absolutely that good. So Zadkiel is also wonderful. So when we're trying to clear our space, we're trying to clear our computer before we close it at night, or we're trying to consecrate an area where we have set up an altar or a sacred spot for ourselves, he is a fabulous angel to call in and ask him to help with that. He will clear, he will purify your area just like that. That he just is a master. Now, where I've used him quite a bit is both in shadow work, where I was trying to go back and find if there were patterns in my belief system or negative habits that I had acquired, let's say from when I was a child even. He is able to go in Identify that negative energy or that negative thought pattern that is just no longer serving you. And he can just transmute that stuff and turn it into positive energy or get rid of it, release it, making room for you to bring in the positive. And more importantly, what your divine life purpose is. He knows what you are supposed to be doing. And sometimes we forget. So if you find yourself saying, 20 years ago, I knew what I wanted. I knew where I was. I knew what I wanted to do. And now I'm just lost. He is your angel to ask for that purpose. He reminds us that as we continue our journey, we will become that butterfly. But first there's a cocoon. And he reminds us that no one blames the butterfly for being a larva in a cocoon. Okay, he reminds us of that, which means that self-criticism, that self-guilt, that lack of being able to forgive yourself, thinking of yourself as having done something so terrible in your past that now you carry karma with you, he will work with you with this. He will take care of those patterns and all of the trash. He will take that trash out for you that you've been carrying for so very long. So when we're talking about forgiveness and mercy, first, he reminds us that forgiveness and that mercy has to begin right here inside of us. And through that, he shows you how to do that with others. So let me just kind of look at my notes here, make sure I'm hitting everything. Oh yeah, I coined in the namaste, actually, the namaste angel. And the reason why I called him the namaste angel is because he is able to show you your divine light. And he's able to show you the divine light in others. He just can. And he reminds you that everyone, no matter how difficult, including yourself, that you are made of divine light. And he will bring you back into that focus. So he's sometimes depicted holding a dagger. Oftentimes you will see him holding a dagger. And oftentimes, actually, when you see art that's been done depicting Archangel Michael when he's been called to a battle against darkness, the very next angel behind him going into battle with Michael is Archangel Zadkiel. That is where he is. When it's time for that, he is right there with Michael. And so remember that sometimes if you are calling upon Archangel Michael and Archangel Zadkiel work together as a team, oftentimes when it's in that strength and battle kind of a mode. They will be right there for you. Now, I think Zadkiel came about the dagger and mercy is because in the Torah and in biblical reference, the story of Abraham, there is an angel that came in and he stopped Abraham as he was just about to take a dagger and sacrifice his own son. It was at the last moment that an angel appeared and stopped him from doing that. And so that's where a lot of this comes in, where he is merciful and he will show mercy and he will show others how to show mercy. Also, the angel of memory. Hang on a second. Angel of memory, please help me. So because of this work in memory and forgiveness, he is also able to remove any feelings of past trauma, especially where you have been perhaps feeling as though you're still a part of a victimhood. So if you are working with an issue where you're like, you know what, I don't want to be this victim anymore, Archangel Zadkiel will come and he will work with you to release you. Again, that's more of that personal freedom that he's able to give, is he is able to allow you to get rid of all that baggage, including that feeling of victimhood. He's so kind and big, and he can be so gentle, and at the same time he can just zap the heck out of something. So just right here and now. So, you know, be aware when you're working with him that he opens up other avenues for you to go down. Once he's finished transmuting the negative energy, he will show you all kinds of opportunities and doors for you. They will appear for you. So, Teri, do you have anything you'd like to add to Archangel Zadkiel? Or
I was sharing earlier when your internet glitched that I've worked with him many times when I'm going through struggles. He's so merciful and kind and compassionate. And anytime you find yourself in that midst of whatever it might be, it could just be what's going on in the world around you. It could be one of your fires that you're going through. He's always been there to hold my hand, always. Every time that I found myself in this huge turmoil of something that's happening, I feel his energy and I see the violet flame and I see all of that purple energy swirling around me. So he's a really good angel to call on if you find yourself starting to get into a situation where you think you really need to call on help. It's like, who do I put out an SOS to?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he's like the crisis. Yes, it's like in that moment where things are going so terribly wrong, where you're really truly at your lowest, that is the time when he appears and is there to carry you. Yeah.
Absolutely. I felt him really holding my hand. And it was like when I was sitting in the doctor's office, you know, waiting to hear what the diagnosis was, I was by myself physically, but I felt him holding my hand while I was sitting there. And I knew it was him. I just felt that energy. When you get to know these angels a little more, and I know many of you are excited because you're going to have some of them surrounding you constantly for the next 5 days. But when you get to know them a little more and know what it feels like when they come into your presence, then you'll know who it is. And I just had that knowing it was Zadkiel that was sitting right there with me, saying it's okay, just like a mother would sit and hold your hand, you know, while you're going through something really horrible. And that's how he is. He's so comforting and loving. And you can call on him if you just begin to feel that anxiety or something that's going on that you know, oh, this could be a pretty big fire. You know, just say, would you please walk with me through this fire? Just hold my hand while we do this. And he will.
You know, and I found too, not only was he holding my hand, but like I said, it was an extension of that. He was able, because I'm just recollecting a time in a parking lot where I was inconsolable in my car by myself, sobbing, and this was such a, I mean, rock bottom. I'm thinking, you know, I mean, it was really a low point. Okay. And I just remember taking a breath, feeling that presence around me. And within 20 seconds from that period of time, I was already seeing avenues that I could take to lessen the impact, you know, as much as I possibly could. It became just so crystal clear. It was, and I know that was him that was working at that time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Gabby's
And you
back.
know, on the worksheet, if any of you would like to look at the worksheet for after class, if you want to work with him a little bit further, if you feel like you want to connect with him more. The other thing is anything that gives you that instant transmutation of energy, that's kind of him working. So like we've talked before about singing bowls and how you play them and instantaneously you can see them working their energy and changing like the structure of the water. If there's a song that gives you instant joy, or a photograph that gives you instant joy, or a particular tree that no matter what has ever happened in your life, if you've gone to take a few minutes to sit by that tree and it just always makes you feel good no matter what bad thing had just happened to you. That is Archangel Zadkiel working with you. That it really is him. And he works on that quick of a frequency because, like I said, he's so instantaneous with his ability to transmute negative energy into positive, that his power is in all kinds of things that are able to do that. And we all have different things. I'm sure that it's just an instant that gave me joy to my heart, or that gave me comfort, or that gave me that instant. That's him.
So beautiful. So along with Zadkiel, we were talking about the violet flame tonight, and that comes from St. Germaine. With each of these rays of energy, a ray is a vortex of energy. It's extremely high vibrating, and it comes through as a color. So you may be working in one of these rays of energy, or if you want to work in one, you can jump into that ray and inundate yourself with the energy of the master that's working in that ray and the angel. So in this ray, the seventh ray is Zadkiel and St. Germaine. And along with St. Germaine is Lady Portia. So some of you may have connected already with Lady Portia. Such a beautiful energy. Again, that forgiveness, that mercy, that compassion comes through her so vividly. And in that last incarnation, he brought through the violet flame. And that was the last incarnation that St. Germaine has done. We call it alchemy. It's the same thing as magic or transformation. It's just known as alchemy. And that's what he did. And when he brought through this violet flame energy, people were just so drawn to it because it worked instantly. And that's the power of the violet flame. When you're working with that energy, you can either read one of the decrees, or you can just invoke his energy and say, please help me to understand, help me to put this flame around myself so that whatever I don't need in my life, whatever's of low vibration, that can be taken. And Gabby, I'm so glad that you asked the question in the chat of why aren't we using this against Aurora Rose, which is our little code name for the virus that's happening in the world, because we don't want to say that nasty name. And I've actually been doing that in the mornings when we do the meditation on the morning show. I always see the violet flame just consuming anything that's low vibration. The more we do this, the more we use this flame to help transmute that energy, it's going to start shifting and changing. And then we pour love into it. And that just adds to that alchemy of it, of the whole thing shifting and transitioning. So in the chat, I put in a part of the decree. Now, St. Germaine wrote for a long time, and there are books of these decrees. You can find them, you can Google them, you can buy them. They're everywhere. You don't have to do the whole book, the whole long process. You can pick one part. If you're working on forgiveness, there's a decree for forgiveness. If you're working on just bringing in that energy to transmute, that's the one that I put up there for all of us to read, so that we can go ahead and start invoking this energy of the violet flame. And then we'll connect in with Archangel Zadkiel and St. Germaine and just feel their energy. That's what I want us to do tonight. Just feel that energy as it comes in powerfully into our midst. And then after the meditation, we're going to go into the private meeting on Zoom, and we'll talk about experiences that you've had as we were discussing it and bringing it in, or you've had experiences with this in your own time in the past. So let's go ahead and read. If you all want to unmute, we can read this decree together. I love the decrees myself. I've worked with them. I've invoked the energy of them, and it feels so good. When you're saying the words, really feel the energy, really visualize the color. See that color swirling, start to swirl around you. And as you say each word, feel that energy building. Oh, I love the purple glass, Christina. I saw that. So there you go. So focus on that color that Christina just called up for us. Or the color of an amethyst. If you have an amethyst stone with you, you can focus on that as we say the decree together. So let's say these words. Let's ask first that Zadkiel guide our hearts, and that St. Germaine work his magic and bring this energy through to us in a very powerful way. We're going to read these words. Oh, thank you, Susanna. We're going to read these words, this whole decree. It's not that long. We'll read it 3 times. There's something magical about the number 3 and repeating something 3 times. So that's what we're going to do right now all together. And don't worry if you lag a little behind everybody else. It's all divine timing. Just as long as you get those words out, that's what's important. So let's begin. I am
the violet
flame.
I am
the violet flame.
In
action in me now.
I
am the violet
To light
flame.
alone I bow.
To light alone I bow. I am the violet
In mighty
flame.
cosmic power.
In mighty cosmic
I
power.
am the light of God.
I am the light of
I
God.
am the violet
Shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. In action in me now, I am the violet flame.
I am the violet
To
flame.
light alone I bow.
God's sacred
I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power, I am the light of God, shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like the sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone. I am the violet flame. I am the violet flame. In action in me now, I am the violet flame. To light alone I bow. I am the violet flame. In mighty cosmic power, I am the light of God, shining every hour. I am the violet flame, blazing like a sun. I am God's sacred power, freeing everyone.
Oh, wow, is that powerful? So breathe that into your heart now, focusing on the energy of the violet flame, that beautiful color of this sacred ray. And feel that light covering you. See it starting up in the universe and flowing down to you. As it comes down, it's like a spotlight. And it just swirls all around your body. Everything is turning this beautiful energy of violet. Just allow it in. It's a cool energy. Just feel anything that was shaken loose by saying the decree. As these words were spoken, chanted, just envision what was brought forth for that flame to engulf and to take away. And let's ask Archangel Zadkiel to be right beside of you, holding your hand, holding you tight as you go through whatever is being released, whatever you want to place in that violet flame. Do it now. Just let Zadkiel burn up any anxiety, fear, any fires that you're going through currently, any struggles and challenges in life. Just turn those over and let this flame consume any low vibration energy from them so that you're left stronger for that experience. Just ask Zadkiel what you need to know. What do you need to know to clear out anything that's in your existence right now? Is there something that's being brought to your mind that you say, I really don't need that anymore? I don't need to hold on to that right now. I don't need the energy of it. Whether that's a situation, a person, a pain, a disease, whatever it might be. Just ask Zadkiel to help you to identify it. We'll take a moment for you to see what it is that you want to place in that violet flame. What do you want to give over and not have as a burden in your life anymore? Have a vision of contracts being torn up and placed in the flame, of vows of lack being let go of and placed in that flame, vows of suffering, vows of unworthiness, shrinking back from who you truly are. Rip that up and put it in the flame. I'm seeing walls that have been built, keeping others out, keeping a distance to your heart and protecting your energy of your heart. I see those walls and those barriers just coming down and going into this flame. Just let it take them. Whatever you thought was so important, was so monumental, that mountain that you thought you had to climb, put it into the flame. Breathe in and feel into your energy and ask Zadkiel for help. Ask Zadkiel to show you if there's anything else, if there's any part of you that's holding on to low vibration, if you're holding on to anger, if you're holding on to sadness. Zadkiel is wonderful at helping you transmute grief, transmute insecurities, that feeling that you don't deserve to have good things. Let's put that in the fire. Put it in that violet flame. Take a breath in and do one more scan. Sometimes there's that little speck that's just hiding thinking that it won't be seen. But if there's something there that's still attached, something you're still holding on to, thinking, I can't let this go. I need to hold on to this. Sometimes we hold on to anger because we feel justified to hold that anger. You can let go of that energy so that it doesn't consume you. I still feel some fear that's running through many. Fear of the unknown. Fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. Fear of not being enough. Put all of that into the flame. And watch as St. Germaine just takes it immediately. It's all consumed in the flame, leaving you with a fresh slate, leaving you with a clean filling, that you've cleaned out the closet, you've swept up those last crumbs that were hiding in you, and you turned it all over because you want freedom, you want joy, you want happiness and peace inside. And that's what happens when you do the release. You release anything that's not serving you. You find your vibration lifted and your frequency is higher. And I feel a lot of heat now because vibrations are starting to swirl around at a higher rate. And you're feeling that connection again with your higher self even more clearly now. Just allow it. If you're getting hot, that's okay. You can take that heat. It's not the flame that's causing the heat. It's your own vibration, feeling the freedom to move like it wants to move. Just let it do that. And then let's feel gratitude, so much gratitude to the angel, Archangel Zadkiel. Gratitude to his twin flame amethyst. Gratitude to St. Germaine, who brought us the violet flame, and to his counterpart, Lady Portia. And give yourself a pat on the back. Congratulate yourself for showing up today, for being open to learn more about an angel that is so helpful, so kind and merciful and compassionate, that can take those burdens, those things that you were holding on to that weren't doing you any good, and just take them, immediately transmuting that energy to positive. So congratulate yourself. You did this for you. That was a positive move that you did today. Just take a breath, feel that freedom, feel that energy being more light, more clean, more willing now to look at what is possible. Once you let go of those things holding you back, it opens that door wide open. And there is so much potential and possibility. Just feel that freedom, feel the love, and give yourself a big hug and say thank you. Thank you for showing up for you. Thank you for giving yourself that gift. Thank you all for being here. And thank you to those that were in the audience with us today. And if any of you want to jump in here on the Zoom, the link is out there for you to come to. We are going to go into our private meeting. Christina, any last words that you want to share before we do that?
Just thank you and enjoy. I hope many doors are open and a lot of healing begun.
All right. So we'll see you all in the private room. Don't go away. And we'll see everyone else next week on Angel Wing. Thank you for being here tonight.